What's up, Skirts Up Squad? Did you just take my line? It's Samantha
and Melissa.
I'm going to actually tell you guys how it is right now.
It was so fun. We couldn't even make it up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear it in public.
Then she looks at me and she goes, that's what Jesus is for.
We are about normalizing things that are hard to talk about.
So I was like, deer in headlights, skirts out. But keep your panties on. Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay, are we ready? We shake it out.
Yeah. Okay.
What's up, Skirts Up Squad? Happy New Year. It's Samantha.
Happy New Year. It's Melissa. And
we made it another year.
Yeah, we did. Here we are. It's 2 years of podcasting together.
It's really wild. I don't feel like it feels wild. Like 2 years.
It doesn't, right? And the only reason I know it's 2 years is because I'm like, well, we had like a full end year recap last year. And I know right? And I know we started at the first of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it really is. And then like, whew. And then like to think about like where everything started to like where it is in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I feel like we have met some amazing people.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we have.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
The show's evolved. We've evolved. And some people are like, I'm a podcaster. I'm going to make money off of this. This is my job.
Yeah.
And what I feel like is the show went through waves where, you know, one or both of us were like, do we really have to record today? I don't really feel like doing this. I'm not really in the mood. But then we would connect and start like recording and start like the conversation. And then we always would end with like, oh, why are we dreading this? Like, this is 100%. What we needed. And so that was something that always like kind of cracked me up and fascinated me is like, even though we've talked about how hobbies, when they become like your job, like you start to kind of like dread them. But then it's so funny because why are we dreading it when like we have a great time afterwards?
It's so true. Like I think it's because I really do believe that whole like whatever you put out into the universe, you're going to draw back to you. Because we could have met, like, and remember in the beginning, we did have like 2 or 3 conversations with people that just were not matches for the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I guess I just feel like the reason we get to feel so rejuvenated and so amazing after each episode is because we're like, oh, wow, that person was perfect for us. Like we did need that. Or we did need that conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? It's been pretty cool.
I know that I've said it before, but it's like a little bit of each guest has rubbed off on me. And another funny thing is I guess I use so much of what each of our guests has taught me that Simon will throw back some of their words to me sometimes. And I just kind of look at him and I'm like, do I really talk about this stuff like that much? Like,
I need to hear one.
Okay. So like the other day I was picking his brain because he's been self-employed for many, many, many years at this point. And I've had the podcast, but now that I have my practice, I am self-employed. This is how I'm going to make money. I don't know how to structure my day in a way that keeps me productive all day and make sure that I feel accomplished every day. And that's really daunting to me. And then every time I sit down to do it, I open up all my tabs on the computer and I just start clicking from tab to tab and not really thinking or remembering what it is I'm supposed to do and the correct way. So every day just feels like a waste of time and I'm not moving anywhere. So I was picking his brain on how do you do this? And he goes, well, of course, he gave me some tips, but really he was like, you just figure it out and you do it and you stick to it. And I was like, well, this is really like, it shuts me down. And he goes, well, you got to eat your frog first, Samantha. And I just,
I was not expecting that throwback.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yes. And I just looked at him and I was like, where did you hear that? And he goes, I don't know. Maybe the person I just said it to. Like, well, I heard it from Miss Jill Wright.
That's amazing. It's true though, but I actually do want to say, I feel like you've been doing this for a while though. I feel like there's probably like this blockage in your mind because it's like, oh no, this is real as far as the RTT practice goes,
Yeah.
because you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
Whereas like the podcast we were able to do for fun, the world wasn't going to end if it didn't
Right.
take,
There was nothing to lose.
right, right. But if you look at yourself and look back over the last 2 years, you're the one who has been running the podcast and keep like you're the producer, right? So you've had to sit down and be like, okay, on Monday, I'm going to make all these calls. On Tuesday, I'm going to,
Yeah.
right? So you've already been doing it.
Yeah, when you put it that way, like, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's just, yeah, I guess the difference is now it's like this has to work,
Yeah, that's
or
fair. That's
like,
scary.
or I feel like I've wasted 2 years trying to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Mm.
But maybe that's not exactly how to look at it, but
Of course, because you know how much you've grown the last 2 years, but at the same time, you're like,
actually,
okay,
saying
here,
that,
okay,
that is not what something that I knew. I mean, I knew that I've changed a lot in the 2 years, right? And we
yeah,
bring that up throughout the podcast this year. But what's really funny is I didn't realize, like, I felt like I didn't work on myself in the ways that I had intended to. Last year, we talked about New Year's resolutions and how they
right.
really can like set us up for failure because we make these resolutions and they only stick for a couple of months. And last year, I was like, no, like I'm not making resolutions, but I do know like a direction that I want to be in. And so let me start writing and mapping this out. So I got this journal last year and it's called Life Mastery Planner. And it was so overwhelming. Like it breaks everything down for you to really like focus on specific aspects. So like one of the first things you do is you write down your life mission.
Okay,
You come up with your life vision and your mission statement. And
okay.
on my journal, when I
That
started it
is
last year,
first of all, that's daunting to me.
right? Does that not
Yeah.
sound like I have to a vision statement? Like I have
Yeah.
to know
My
where.
life. What does my life mean? My mission?
Right. I left it blank last year. Like,
Okay.
so, and I didn't remember I did that, but I was looking back and I left it blank. And
Okay.
then the next thing it asks you is to make a list of 100 life term goals. A
A
hundred.
hundred?
100. Right.
I'm like, no, I couldn't have heard that right.
Do you know? That's rhetorical because obviously that's one, a lot. And two, I was so overwhelmed by like, oh, there's people have this like
This
life
many?
goals. Like
Sounds like
I,
my brother and his wife. They're amazing. They're like the type of people who they work out every day, they eat healthy. They gave me the book Atomic Habits to read.
yeah.
Like, I feel like, and I walk in their house and there is a board and it has for years. Every year they set goals together and it's amazing.
And it looks great, right? And it goes, oh man, I want to do that too. But then
Yeah.
no one explains and like steps it down. And like, I'm someone who it's like, oh, okay, 100 lifetime. What does that even look like? What goals are there
So,
to
yeah.
possibly like that you could want? And so I did not make it very far. I made it to 36, but let me just tell you that took me days of trying to do last year.
Okay.
And
Which
then,
also I commend you because I feel like I might just want to close the book and be like, doo. Oh, maybe next year I'll
dude,
look at it.
it took
So
me 3 months to get started. Like
that's
I
impressive
had
though.
intended on starting this January and I kept putting it off because these questions are just challenging and
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with it. And there's nothing to explain, like, kind of how to think and like what are even options that you can accomplish, like that
Yeah.
alone is a big question. And I I
Right.
was not prepared to
You
even.
hear like life mission and you're like, what? Like an Institute for World Peace? I don't know.
Right. What I'm curious. Oh yeah, okay, I didn't answer that. So I can't even tell you like what I put. Um anyways, okay, so then it breaks it down into like what's your personal growth and attitude goals? Like what's your health and fitness goals? What's your self-image and emotion goals? And there's just
Okay.
a bunch of these that it breaks it down into.
Makes
What's your
sense.
nature goal? What's your spirituality goal? Like just all these things, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I did not keep up with it well last year. Honestly, once Ada died, this is something that I completely stopped. So I had only done it for probably about 2 months.
Okay.
And I knew that I wanted to do it again this year because there's so many times where it's like, I wish I tracked, body pains. I wish I tracked when my ovaries are hurting, like so I could kind of see
Yes.
patterns. I wish I would start tracking my mood, see if there's like different times where my mood tends to be different,
Yeah.
like, and these are things that I want to be more intentional about. And so I was like, oh, well, it's time to just get another journal and stick to it. So
Okay.
I bought another one, the exact same journal.
Okay. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I
The
bought the
same
exact same
one.
journal.
The
Yes.
life choice, or what is it called again?
The Life Mastery Planner.
Okay.
Because it really is just so, exact.
Okay.
So I opened it and I immediately wrote down, like, I really didn't have to think about it. I wrote down a vision statement and I wrote down a mission statement. And then I go, I wonder what I put in my other one. And I wonder if it's the same or if it's different.
Wait, so you opened it this year and you weren't nearly like as daunted.
No, it just came out.
Whoa.
And then so I was like, okay, so I didn't even put anything last year. So I was still blind, no idea what I was,
Okay.
not realizing. And so then I go 100 lifetime goals and I just start writing. and, and
Wow.
then I go, wait a second, what were my goals in my last year's planner? Like, like, are these different? Are they the same? And I go back and I'm looking at my goals that I wrote last year for my life. And I checked off unknowingly, because again, I did not keep up with my journal. I
Okay.
unknowingly checked off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things off of my life goals.
Whoa. Wait, how many goals had you put last time? You said 30 or so?
Yeah, like 36. And
Okay.
again, that took me
You already did
forever.
8 without even looking at it.
Yes. Not looking at it,
Whoa.
which, again, takes away like the intentional aspect of it. But it's like, it was so crazy to be able to look back and be like, oh shit, I actually marked things off and didn't even realize it. And I wouldn't have realized it had I not written it down and been able to refer to it at the
Yes.
beginning of this year.
Which that's really cool too. Cause I know you're like, oh, well, a little bit takes away from the attention the intentional part, like that I didn't look at it. But at the same time, like that was intention when you wrote it down. And it must have
Hmm.
been enough for your mind and your body to be like, okay, we got some of these.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
some of
Like
these life
does that sound
goals,
too like woo woo or crazy?
no, it doesn't. And what's interesting is also looking at the difference of these types of life goals. So the
Okay, okay,
life goals
share.
that like got written down last year were things like I want to feel bold. I want to feel sexy. I want to have hobbies. And then
Oh, very vague.
right, very vague and very like normal things, right?
Okay,
Like
okay.
normal
Yeah.
human things. And like, I don't know, this year it's like these big things. Like, I want to be featured on Times Square. I want
Whoa.
to, um, gosh, like there's actual travel things, like specific travel things. I want to visit monk temples in Thailand. I want to be a
Wow.
best-selling author. I want to write I don't know. Like
It's
there's
not even like I want to go travel. It's like I want to travel and I want to see
specific.
this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I want to make one new meal a week. Like get out of that habit of eating the same stuff every day. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just it got more in depth. And then I don't know. It was just really wild comparing what I did do in the journal last year to how more in depth and like goal specific and like I know more about
It,
me and what I'm doing. Does that make
yeah.
sense? Like, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not that amazing, but I was
It's
like blown
amazing.
away.
It makes me think that like growing as a human is almost a muscle memory too, just like growing your muscles. Right? And you put a lot of work into yourself this year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like, and most of it was intentional, and I bet some of it was not intentional, right? But you did it, and your body and your mind are like just taking it a step further each time. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying.
I know. It feels like this big grand thing. Is it sounding like a big grand thing? Probably not. But I guess what I'm trying to really share is just like we change and make so much progress each year that we don't acknowledge and realize that we did. And so it's just really easy
Right.
and simple to fall into like, I'm not succeeding at anything, I'm not growing. But do
Mhm.
you really know if you don't have anything to look back onto of where you were a year ago
Yeah.
to where you
That's
are
such
this
a good
year?
point. That is such a good point. Like, there's no baseline to look at. There's no record. There's no,
Right. You're just going through the motions.
and our
So,
minds will play tricks on us. It's very easy
mhm,
for our mind to be like,
minimize.
oh, yeah, either minimize or make you think that you did more than you did, even. I know that can
Yeah.
happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Not you, but just like people.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of
Um,
us.
so
It's so
yeah,
crazy.
it's really cool. So that was like one of the really like big things that I wanted to share with you guys. And um, I'm not sure like how much we've talked about like the RTT and how it went. Like I started the program. I got to graduate a couple of weeks ago, and I have my LLC open, Sweet Soul Wellness, that you guys have heard me talk about, and the website's live. And I feel like originally what had started my interest in RTT was the like youth mental health. And
Uh-huh.
do you remember that? Like
I
that was
do.
like
You wanted to
the
get it in the
flame.
schools. Yep. And you're
And
like, if we taught this stuff when they were young,
mhm,
we would have so many less issues.
yeah. And somehow that has transferred into now my specialty and my focus is working on functional neurological disorders. So that's essentially what I had, you know,
It's amazing.
diagnosed and worked through. And what I'm finding is there's so many people that are diagnosed, and the same exact thing is the reoccurring pattern of neurologists, psychologists. Oh, you have FND. Go read
Hmm.
about it online. Like, there's nothing wrong with
So,
you, right? So it gets
can I ask a
minimized.
question?
Yeah.
For functional neurological disorders, I guess in my mind, it's always meant seizures because it has, like, that's how I know about it is through you. Are there other ways that it manifests?
Yeah. Like, if you remember talking to Dr. Carolyn Taylor, like,
Hmm.
remember her nephew, I believe it was? Uh,
Oh, went
he was,
blind.
yeah. So it's really, it manifests in so many different things. Like, um, yeah, it can be a,
Okay. Okay. Thanks for reminding me that.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And how scary would that be to be like, well, it's exactly what happened to you. You're like,
Yeah, nothing's really wrong with you, so just go talk to a therapist or something, you know?
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And there is like people are living with this. There's triathletes that I'm meeting that now are in wheelchairs because they were diagnosed
Oh,
with the functional neurologic disorder, but then not given anything on, okay, how can we improve it? And I think we talked to someone, or maybe this was something that came up in my like research. But when these neurons, you have them when you have functional neurologic disorder, your neurons are not connected and they
right.
should be. And so basically, the longer they stay disconnected, the more engraved that is in your brain and in your body
Mhm.
to be disconnected. So it's going to be harder to reconnect. So when you have these people who have had this disorder for years and years and years and years, they're just going to progressively be getting worse
Worse and
because
worse.
there's nothing trying to connect them.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah, so my goal this year is I'm working on seeing if the RTT modality is a really good fit for treating and eliminating the symptoms of this and getting some more research done into it with other, neuroscientists that have more base knowledge on this and are working towards the same goal.
Actual
And
science. Yeah.
then, yeah, the hope is to get to be the referring treatment for
Yeah.
functional neurologic disorders. So
Wow. That's pretty cool.
thanks. And several of our guests that we've had on this season, I've been talking to and seeing how we can collaborate with our clients. So you guys will see some familiar faces as I grow on my website and stuff. So
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
thanks.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with myself. Um, one of the I am very proud of these big things because they are big, but I'm also proud of like the simple things of like looking in the mirror and like I love how like I just
You love how you look?
yeah, like and then like I look back at other photos from like before I really like just kind of decided how I want to be portrayed, right? And
Right.
like I don't recognize that person in the photos before,
Interesting.
and I'm like, this is who I am, like, and I feel good about it.
That makes
And
me so
so
happy.
yeah, so that alone, it's like I'm happy.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. Well, that was a lot about me.
Yeah. So, should I take it away?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you already know what I'm going to say because we were
Yes.
talking before this. So I'll just kind of brief everybody. Sam actually just shared with you guys everything that she had already shared it with me before we started. And we were talking about how we were going to plan out the episode. And I just felt like, well, there's a lot going on right now. As you know, I've had a lot going on in my life. I felt like I'm floundering. I feel like I'm not able to see the growth that I may or may not have had. Well, first of all, I didn't write it down if I did have any. Um, I suppose I can go back and listen to some of our episodes and see like, oh yeah, this is where my life was taking me. Actually, over Thanksgiving, I did. I sat down with Melissa Walker and we played back when you and I went to DC and Terry Christine did some healing work on us. I had recorded that and I played that
Yeah.
for Melissa Walker. And it was actually really interesting to kind of hear where she was telling me like that my body was telling her where I wanted to go with my life. And it's really interesting that I ended up taking that path.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess there's things that I can look at and say, look, sure, I did grow. But for the most part, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I was just kind of going through the motions of like life and marriage and work. And I was just even though I was trying to learn and grow about things and I wasn't working on myself.
Hmm.
And okay, actually, we were talking a lot about what we think the podcast was for us. And always to me, I would say, and I hope this is true, but always to me, I would think and say, I want the podcast to help other people. And I never really kind of thought, oh, I want the podcast to help me. But I
Hmm.
would see how it was helping you. Anyway, all of this to say, I need to work on myself more. I feel like I didn't drop this very well. I feel like I should have.
No, I think
I feel
it's
like
the
I'm rambling.
perfect. No, no, you are going into it perfect. So when you had this kind of emotional like revelation as you're just kind of word vomiting it to me,
Yeah,
essentially just how you just did,
exactly.
what was kind of the realization that like you felt like you came to?
I think it's time to take a break from the podcast for me. And that makes me really sad because I do love it. And like you said, every time we get on, like, even if I've had a bad day, I end up feeling so much better. I feel literally rejuvenated after you and I
Right.
meet.
Me too. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't want to lose that. And there's a part of me that's scared, like, why am I letting this go? But then there's a part of me that's like, I know I have so much I need to do. I actually just in the last month started meeting weekly with a therapist.
Mhm.
And I used to just meet like once a month. I'm now meeting weekly and I'm just really seeing like there's a lot that I need to do to like stop worrying about other people and
Mhm.
actually taking and feeling good about myself. And I don't mean worrying about other people like I'm trying to control them, more like I'm like trying to facilitate and make their lives easier. And
Yeah.
I can still do that, but I've got to start working on myself more, if that makes sense. And I want to be able to get a journal and which actually that's so funny because Melissa Walker sent me like we found this artist that we like and she sent me a day planner that
Mm.
this artist made and it does have some prompts in it. And I think so I want to be able to get a journal and see in a year. Like I couldn't tell you what my life and missions are right now, my life goals.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like that sounds so pathetic, but
No. I
you're either growing or like your neurons not firing for a while, they're getting further apart, right?
Yeah.
So you're either growing or you're falling deeper into not knowing who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have learned a lot of tools and such this year. And some of
Mhm.
the stuff I already knew, right?
Right.
But I haven't been implementing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's time to start implementing. It's time to start like really focusing on myself. I'm going to try to step back a little. Not really, I don't want to say step back from work because I can't. Like the shop, I can't step back from it, but I am going to try to have more of a what's the word? I just a better schedule.
Yeah, you need to be able to what I'm kind of like hearing from you and what I feel like is going on is that you've been running on like the empty cup theory, like the empty
Yeah.
cup. And so you aren't able to focus on yourself and the things that you want to because your cup is always empty and you're giving whatever little
Yeah.
drops you get to the shop and to other people and trying to make sure
Yeah.
that everyone else is okay. And so now it's just to the point where your cup has been empty for so long and it's like, okay, how do I actually fill it up? And that's probably the first step, right?
Yeah, wow. That's really interesting that you said it like that because like yes, because one of the thoughts that I had was when you were talking about okay, I've had an empty cup for so long. In the past, I may have had some kind of a breakdown or whatnot. Like been like, I just can't keep going. But I think you're right. Like I'm realizing before I get to that point that my cup is empty and I need to fill it.
hmm
And you're
And,
right.
and that's scary all on its own because I remember, I think when we started the podcast, like I feel like where you are right now is like essentially exactly where I was.
Mhm.
And I
Absolutely.
didn't know what are the things that you can even do to fill the cup. Like that
Yeah.
was a foreign, thought to
That's
me
fair.
then. So uh, I
I
think
feel like I know what I need to do. I just need to make time and do it. And that's where I
so.
am now.
What's
I'm finally
something that
like,
fills your cup? Like what is something that you do and then you feel
oh,
ready?
interesting that you asked it that way because I was thinking more like, oh, I know the things I should be doing.
No,
I should be.
that's
No,
not.
you're right. That you're asking like what is going to make you feel better, what's going to fill your cup and give you energy.
Yeah.
And you're right. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm like just so used to like, oh, it makes me feel good when I help others.
Yeah.
And that's not
No.
right. For
Yeah.
me, I can tell you, and this sounds so trite, but like just having more time like in the mountains,
hmm
just going to the mountains, going on hikes, just being alone in nature so I can like meditate. That is something that's huge for me. And that's something that I actually, it's interesting because I did just go up right before Christmas. I went up to my
hmm
friend's family's house and I was staying near them in a little hotel with Oliver. And we went on like at least 3 miles every day, whether it was like a hike around the lake or hike into the mountains. And honestly, maybe even that right there made me realize, kind of come to all this conclusion too.
Of realizing like, oh, I'm feeling something good. I didn't
Yeah,
realize I was missing something maybe.
actually, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I feel good, obviously, when we talk and stuff. So I just, keep doing it. But is it the right thing for me? That was the right thing. Like that was a different feeling. I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, I know exactly like the feeling that you're talking about. It's like when you know, you just know.
Yeah, it's not fleeting, right? It's more just kind of like inside and it's deep and you feel settled for a second.
hmm
And I think that's what I need to get back to that point where I can have that feeling with me throughout life because you don't have to I think I can get to a point where I don't have to just like, oh, retreat to the mountains and see nobody for 3 days, right?
Right.
I can have that
Right.
feeling. I just need to start focusing internally on myself and then setting goals, I think is a
Yeah.
big one. And it's funny because I'm not like I still don't believe in New Year's goals, but
Right.
I think it just happens for me this right now to coincide with I'm ready. I think you set goals when you're ready.
Yes. Yes. And that's kind of where I think we were coming from is New Year's doesn't mean we're making a resolution and this is like what we're going to accomplish by the end of the year, because it's going to happen when it's ready. And just because you say, I'm going to lose weight this year, that,
Yeah.
okay, how? Have you spent
Mm-hmm.
time, like, other than just, I'm going to go to the gym every day? Like,
Exactly.
have you gone to the gym every day ever? Like, probably
Right.
not. So, what's the first thing is scheduling, looking at your schedule. Okay, what hour could I set aside for going to the gym? That's step one, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
seeing
I
how you can
know.
fit it into your life.
And it seems so simple, but we
It's not when
forget.
you're in it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like something like that would really throw me off last year. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this is just what I want to do. So I just got to do it. And
Yeah.
then I actually don't know how to do it. So I'm just not going to.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm ready to work on myself. I think it's time for me to step back from the podcast. Sam and I, we talked for just a second. We haven't really even talked about all this. She was like, you know what? Let's just have that be our episode this today. And you were right. Like, let's do it. So I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if that means that you'll continue with the podcast, or if you'll not. And I don't want what I do to affect you in any negative way.
I
That's
know
the
that.
worry. That's the worry I have.
And
Um,
what I was, sharing with you is like, one, I don't take it personal. And I could really, I don't know, I just like really felt like how hard it was for you to like even bring it up, because
yeah.
I think that it's, like when you're in like a really like healthy relationship, like a really strong relationship
Yeah.
with like your partner, and it's like you can, to be, to function, you can never like both be on the down, right? Like someone's got
Correct.
to be the one that's structurally
Yes.
okay, right?
Sure.
And I
Sure.
feel like we started where I was on the very bottom. There's nothing that just nothing.
Yeah.
I felt nothing. And I feel like through the 2 years, it's just balanced out. And then now it's kind of teetered in the opposite direction. And for me, the podcast was the answer because it pushed me out of my comfort zone. It gave me something to do when I didn't have anything to do. And I feel like for you, it was just kind of realizing like you have so much to do that like what can you.
It's so interesting because something did come to me just now when you were talking. You were talking about how for you, the podcast helped you get out of your comfort zone, do those things that are hard. I think I've been so focused externally for so long, and it's the opposite for me, right? It's time to just
Yeah.
look inside and not get out. I don't know. It sounds crazy. We still have to
Like,
get out of our comfort zones. I still have
yeah.
to, but in a
Well,
different
it is
way.
out of your comfort zone to focus on yourself, because for you, that comes off as
Um,
selfish, right? Like you've said this
100%.
before. So for you, that is out of your comfort zone to, not answer my question of what fills up your cup. Oh, I love it when I help people like to go, oh, okay, wait, no.
You're right. You're
Like,
right. That's so interesting how we're all so different and we're at different levels. And like one thing that could absolutely not be the right thing for someone else is what I need right now. Or yeah,
right. Yeah. And
yeah,
that's, the point of the podcast is just to lead people to the door, right? And
that's true.
um, I think
And
in a
remind us that
way,
we're all different. Like this is why we don't want to judge each other because it's like, oh, well, if I was going through that, I would blah, 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 blah. Whereas it might not be what that person needs. Right. And so I think
yeah,
that's something that we did hope we would open more minds and just like help people be less judgmental,
yeah,
more accepting. So you saying it like that is just kind of full circle.
yeah. I think, okay, the burning question, what does that mean for Skirts Up, right?
Hmm.
I think that you and I talking, kind of what that looked like is we don't know what it looks like. Like
Yeah.
this just happened, like literally not even an hour ago. So,
Yeah.
but what I thought was interesting is that with my new like focusing on Sweet Soul, Simon had also kind of hinted recently, like, hey, do you really think like the podcast should still be a focus, or do you like would you consider winding it down? And I was like, oh, I why would I consider winding it down?
I love it. This is my baby.
Right. Like this is where I started. This is what brought me to where I am today. I wouldn't have even known about RTT. I wouldn't be a practitioner and like have something that I'm trying to make something if it wasn't for the podcast. That makes no sense to me.
Right. Right.
And then here you were today, like just I gotta be honest, I don't know if this is something that I can continue or, feel like is for me to continue. And that's two things coming in a short amount of time saying like, whoa, like maybe you should think about it. So um I'm gonna think about it.
Okay.
Is this a sign to wind it down and shut it off?
I'm
Maybe,
not sure.
because it won't be the same without both of us.
Yeah.
It was created with both of us and both of our personalities and both of our insights and expertise, and like it's our personalities and
It's so crazy because I don't even know that we even realized what we were doing.
no.
Right. And then, like, so many people came on and they'd be like, this is why you guys are together. This is why it works
Yeah,
so well. And it's like,
yeah.
shoot, yes, this has been amazing.
And it's really, really funny. Okay, you know how recently we dropped the episode with Laura Ellen
Yes.
about, okay, right? And she said that the point of the podcast is to be doing something that no one's ever done. And remember,
Yes. That really drove you nuts
stuck
for a
with us.
second.
It did. It has driven me fucking nuts. And it just like dinged on me a couple. Okay, so
What?
it's not necessarily what has the podcast done that no
Okay.
one else has done, right?
Okay.
But what if the question is really what is the podcast leading to that has never been done before? And the answer to that is no one is using the RTT modality to even treat functional neurological disorders. And now that is what I'm going to be trying to do. And
That
I,
is,
it's
that's
going to work,
amazing.
right? Like it's got to work.
Exactly.
And that wouldn't have happened if the podcast hadn't brought it to even a thought.
That's so true. That's so
So
true.
what
Like,
are
who
we?
knows where we're going to go from here?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So what
Yeah.
is it that Skirts Up has done that's never been done before? It's led to conversations that are creating things that has never been done before.
Shit. You just gave me like a crazy, I got goosebumps because right when you said that, I imagined anyone who's ever listened taking a leap and doing something they've never done before. And like how many different things are could the podcast have affected?
It
We don't
starts
even
with a
know.
conversation,
Yeah.
hearing like one thing. And so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
feels so good. I just got chills.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't know what it looks like right now, as you said. It's
Yeah.
something that we're going to talk about and think about and figure how to
Yeah.
let me wind
We
down. And
Yeah, because we really have season 5 pretty lined up for you guys too. So yeah, I mean we have some figuring out to do and see
we
like we
do.
know what's the right move
We
for
do.
y'all and for each of us. And
Yeah.
um yeah, I don't know. It's just it feels like this could be the closing of a chapter, but yet the beginning of like a whole new book,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe it's not a closed chapter. Maybe it's just a, maybe
A pen.
it's just sometimes you put the journal away and then come back to it at the end of the year and then find out
Yeah.
what it
No,
did
that
do
is
for
what we
you.
talked about. It's like just because maybe we end up going on a pause now so
Yeah.
that, you can focus on you, that doesn't mean that it's forever.
Yeah. Or that Skirts Up has no place in the world anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it works out. But we do have a lot to talk about. It's true. But I love you. Thank you for giving me a safe space to.
Of course.
I was really scared to tell you, not because of you, because of me.
How long did you have that thought? Like, was it while we were talking that you were like, oh shit, like, I think I need out? Or like, was that something that you were pondering on?
So it's something that I've been kind of thinking about for like, it's something I've been thinking about. Like I said, when I was in the mountains, I was like, well, maybe I need to wind down, focus more on myself. But I kept thinking, well, maybe I can just keep going. But then when we were talking, I was like, I have to tell her. Like, it just felt like everything in my body was screaming, like, you
Keep
can't just
going
keep
with the motion.
going. Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah,
Hmm.
here we are.
The silence. It's just
It's like silent, but it's also like so loud in my head right now.
right. Do you think that there's something in our conversation that was like the nail in the coffin of like, this is what I'm doing? Or like what was that?
It was hearing how it was literally hearing you talk about how like you didn't know where you were. And I've heard you say this so many times. Like when we
Yeah.
first started the podcast, like, oh, I just didn't know who I was, what I wanted. And I've always been like, no, I know. Like, I know,
Yeah.
right? But I think my life is so drastically in such a different place. Like it's kind of like I don't know actually. And maybe it's okay to say that.
Mhm.
Um, and I felt like I just couldn't, I don't know. It was hearing you talk about your goals and your journaling and like I was thinking I can't write down 50, 100 even like especially goals. I can't
Right.
write down 30. And it's
Yeah.
like these are the things I need to sit with myself and start thinking about.
Well, that I don't know how to take that because is it I don't know because in a way it's like okay, hearing that am I hearing that like
Mm.
made you feel
No.
a negative way of like
No.
the only way to do that is to like
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no, no. Remember I said I've been feeling like I probably need to, but then I keep thinking, no, just keep going.
yeah,
And then listening to you talk, I'm like, no, I need to. I need to. Um, it's time, right? And it has nothing to do with like you made me see, oh no, I want that. I can do this, but I have to find it and to do it in a different way. Where for you,
that
like you
makes
had to
sense.
go out and do it externally. I have to do it internally,
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
all. You made me see good things.
I brought you to the light. Call me
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Okay, Jesusina. Justina.
Hey, Susa.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, that just brought it right on back. But I am very thankful for the last 2 years. I'm very extremely thankful for this last year. And I think that no matter what it means for Skirts Up, I am still excited for each of us and wherever we end up.
Yeah, me too. Because there's a lot. Maybe we'll come back and do another episode next year and be like, hey guys.
Right? Just pop on back.
I don't
But
know, but we'll talk.
yeah. Well,
So
love you
thank
guys.
you.
Happy New Year's. And
Yes,
we'll be back.
that's right. Oh, and actually, can I say one more thing? I
Yeah.
would wanted to say again, thank you and I love you. And but I also thank everybody who like gave us a safe space to do this. Right?
Yeah.
The skirts up didn't happen just because of you and I. It happened because of everybody.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's all. Okay. Love you. Peace, love, hope.
Love you. Did you like the episode that you heard today? Great. Share it with a friend and don't forget to rate and review.